Okay, it's 3 o'clock, Tuesday, January 8th. Time for the Building Advisory Board meeting to begin. So I call the meeting to order. Roll call, starting on the right end, state your name.
Ryan White.
Mike McCall.
Kevin Cool.
Mark Frazier.
David Miller.
Scott Kraus. Greg Nichols.
Okay, next item, approval of the minutes of the December 11th regular meeting.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. New business, discussion of the BAB annual report to City Commission. I refer to staff.
All right. I believe Debbie probably sent this out to you guys yesterday. This is it's kind of a new format that we're using this year, but it's very similar to what it has been in the past. We'll kind of go over this a little bit here, and then I'll ask for the board's input a little bit on goals for the upcoming year. Accomplishments of the past year, the board continued to work on creating contractor licensing requirements for lawn irrigation contractors. Code language to require licensing and testing for anyone wanting to do lawn irrigation and work was approved by the board and the city commission. The board heard a code amendment request to amend the 2012 UPC section 121015 to eliminate the need for arc bond resistant jacketed CSST bonding. The amendment was approved by the board and the city commission. Okay. The board heard a code amendment request by Mark Smith for PVC DWV testing. The board recommendation was accepted and is awaiting city commission consideration and approval. The board held a code appeal hearing for citizen Mark Labes. Mr. Labes questioned the interpretation of the Uniform Mechanical Code of Staff. Those are the main points that we did this year. Of course, you guys are aware we had other discussion topics and a little bit of education stuff going on, but those were the main things we did last year. Future goals for next year, the board will continue to address continuing education needs for contractors and will provide direction on providing CEU opportunities. Always open for suggestions on if you guys have anything in particular or any particular trade or topic or anything like that I can help facilitate that to get continuing education that you guys need that's maybe closer or in town here. The board will continue to seek involvement from design professionals and contractors to assure we are providing the best service possible for the residents of Salina. And then the next one is a pretty big one. This year we'll probably start beginning code hearings for 2019 updates on building codes. Probably start that this year with it's been in the past 14 to 18 month process. So by the time we get done, it'd be into 2020. The last round was adopted in, we did to effect 2017, but it was October or so of 2016 whenever you guys passed that. So probably summertime or so this year, we need to start breaking down into hearings and stuff and starting to discuss that a little bit more.
Which code are we looking at moving to for 2018?
I'm thinking probably the 18. If we move to the 15, we'll be 2 cycles behind by the time it gets adopted already. So I haven't reviewed it in depth yet, the 18, to see where we're at. Was also some talk on we already adopted the 2009 Energy Code, or 12 back to 9, and so I don't know. We'll have to discuss that too as far as where we want to go with that. I'm sure you probably don't want to go 18 Energy Code if we didn't like the 12.
Why don't we go to the 2019 and just get current?
There is no 19. It's every 3 years they come out. So 18 and then 21 would be the next one.
Well, I was talking to a contractor today, and he told me he was reading something on the 19, so that's why I was wondering.
There might
working on it, but it's
there wouldn't be a 2019 edition. It's every 3 years when they come out. The uniform and the the ICC codes are every 3 years. The NEC is every 3 years too, but it's a year behind. So there'd be a 17 and then a 20 NEC.
And I've got a comment on the energy code and kind of what happened there. And we probably didn't do our due diligence in going through that 2012. And then we had the big meeting, you know, with the architects and everybody, and that was too stringent and they wanted to back off. But what we should have done, and next time we need to do this, the energy item, let's look at what the payback is. If the payback is under 2 years, then you're going to do it. Sell it to the owner. Look, you do this and you're going to pay back in 2 years. If it's 10 years, I mean, we need to take that into consideration and look at it next time, which we really didn't do, and it kind of caught up with us. But I think that energy code is very important. But we also don't want to be forcing 10-year paybacks. That's
true. Well, we'll have our hands full whenever we get to be
Yes,
doing
we
that.
will.
We'll I'll get some more information in the months to come about the 2018, so we can make a kind of an informed decision about where we want to go. At least a bird's eye view of it. I'm not going to break each one down that the committee is going to be able to do at that time, but at least get an idea if there's giant changes that are in the works that we definitely want to address, things like that. But we'll have those discussions.
Are we going to go over these like we did the last time through each?
Yes, probably. Again, we could kind of break it down a little bit. I mean, I don't know if there's not huge changes, we might not have to do subcommittees, but a lot of them there probably will be some minutia to grind through that probably don't want to do in full board meetings. We'll probably have to break it down into subcommittees.
Well, I think the subcommittees help, and everybody gets a little better understanding what we're looking at.
Right. I mean, it's the subcommittees can do the harder work, getting down through into each one, and then bring reports back to the board about pertinent topics that they think everybody would definitely be interested in. So I think that we'll probably go along with the same path that we have in the past. So, like I said, it'll take a little bit of time. That's why we're kind of starting early. Are there any other goals that you guys want to look into for the upcoming year, or anything like that maybe I didn't put on here yet? Is there anything that you guys feel that as board members that needs addressed that I haven't mentioned yet?
One of the things, and you've already got this in here, but supporting the contractors and everybody, and you hear a lot of talk out there. Well, the city did this, and the city makes us do this. And I encourage these guys, and we need to try to encourage them to come right up here and tell us what's the matter. Because we can't deal with it if we don't, we can't deal on rumors if they got a problem. So I'm just saying we need to try to encourage these guys to come in and tell us what the problems are that they perceive.
I know whenever I first started here, we had what we call PME meetings once a month, and I think it went to once a quarter on Wednesday nights. It was plumbing, mechanical, electrical contractors would get together and just talk with city staff and bring up complaints, comments, requests, anything like that, and we just get together and kind of shoot the breeze. We stopped doing that probably in about 2009 or so, something like that, just because the attendance was waning, and I think people got a lot of the stuff off their chests that they had. That's definitely something we could look into, or they could also use this forum too for that if it's occasional in nature or whatever. But if it's if it gets to be where there's problems that occur that are more frequent, then we could definitely always bring those back too. Or any other, if that was just PMEs, but if there's trades or whatever else if there's a group together that needs some discussing, we can definitely work with them. Does anybody else have any other ideas or goals or anything for upcoming year? With that stuff that's on here, it might be a handful, but if there's, like I say, if there's more items or anything like that, my door's always open, or email or whatever. So anytime you guys have a question or concern or anything like that that you think the board needs to address, we can definitely do that. Moving down to other items of interest, the board will continue to provide direction to contractors and embrace new ideas regarding continuing education requirements. And then the last one, the board held 8 Building Advisory Board regular meetings last year. And then the last page is everyone's attendance at said meetings. I don't need to go through every single one of those, but you can read that if you want to. And then that's about the sum of the report for the year.
Okay, moving on to item 4, update on DWV PVC testing amendment.
That is going to go before commission on Monday. So if anybody here or in the audience wishes to come to the meeting on Monday, provide their input or anything like that, I'm just going to give basically the same report as I did to you guys about the amendment request, reasoning for it, about the other model codes, about OSHA, about just same things I told you guys. So if anybody wants to come in favor or not in favor or whatever, it's going Monday at City Commission. So the vote will be then.
Okay, moving on to item 5, public forum. Do any of you gentlemen in the public have anything to say today?
I did have, before we go on to number 6 there, I did have one other item that I don't know if you all checked your email before you came today, but we did send out an email today. We're looking for one more member to the Building Advisory Board. I spoke with Scott today. He was our mechanical journeyman / master on the board, and we slid him over to mechanical contractor. So we're opening up mechanical journeyman master position on the board because it's been vacant for quite a while, the spare spot, and we're thinking that there's more guys out there that might be able to fill that role, journeyman mechanical. So we sent an email today to try and get some people to nibble on that and get the board full. The city commissions, has requested that we keep our board full. So they contacted our office and for my office and for all the boards actually. And so we're trying to work hard to get positions filled. So we did a little bit of shuffling around and trying to get somebody in there. So if you guys have anybody on your crew or staff or whatever that might be interested in this spot, please get an expression of interest form filled out and we can get that rolling.
How's the licensing going with the lawn irrigation guys?
Pretty good so far. There was won't lie, there was a little bit of grumbling about it at first, but I don't know what the exact number is. We have now, I want to say 5 or so that are licensed, and it's coming along. We haven't had a new spring season yet since this was in place, so we'll see how it if it affects anyone who maybe hasn't got licensed yet that needs to and is out doing work. But the ones that have come in have managed to get through the process fairly simply.
Good.
How have they obtained their license? Is it through testing or is it some other, or through the education part?
There's been some both.
Okay.
There's been some, couple of them have had degrees and then a couple of them have tested as well. So.
Okay.
Item number 6, adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.